All right, good morning, everybody. Good Friday to all of my fellow traders out there. See if we can end this week strong. I had high hopes for this week after Tuesday, but seemed to kind of fizzle. We're kind of limping into the weekend here. But, maybe today will bring some more excitement. So looking forward to that. But what I want to talk about this morning is environment. Now, your environment is everything. And sometimes we have to change that environment. In order for us to get to where we want to be, in order for us to get everything that we need in order to reach our goals, we have to change that environment. And as a teacher, I knew that the environment I set in my classroom was directly related to the level of success that my students could achieve. Also, it was directly related to how they behaved in class, how engaged they were in class. Everything was about environment. And that's what drove me when I put this community together. That was the first thing that I thought about. What type of environment do I want for Average Joe trading? I wanted it to be attractive. I wanted it to be stimulating. And I wanted it to be inviting. Because the worst thing you can have is in a community where people really aren't excited about coming in. They come in and say, well, I guess I'll just see what Ed's doing today. And I don't have nothing else to do. That's not the environment that I wanted to create. And let me share something with you real quick. And this is what I used. Good teachers impart good education. Great teachers groom their students to become independent, to become exceptional. Ordinary teachers direct us along the right path, but great teachers inspire us to seek our own path. They encourage us to discover and develop who we really are. And this is what I use to help me every year when I thought about what environment did I want to create for my students this year. I wanted to be a great teacher, and I wanted to build that environment that would inspire, that would help students achieve. And when you're looking for a community or place to learn this business, the environment you choose is everything. Because if you choose an environment that doesn't motivate you, that's not attractive, that's not stimulating, it may be attractive to you. They may paint this pretty picture and everything around it and all these bells and whistles, it looks good. But does it stimulate you once you get in? Does it stimulate you to want to do better? Is it inviting? Does it invite you to be a real part of the community? Or, do they keep you at a distance? These things you want to think about when you're choosing and you're looking at being a part of a community. Because it's very, very important to be a part of the right environment, to be in that right environment. And if you're not, it's your responsibility to find the environment, to change your environment. You see people who grew up in some of the worst conditions, some of the worst places in this country, and they're highly successful. It's because they knew they had to leave the environment that they were in order to achieve their goals, to be the person that they wanted to be. But then on the other side, you have those people that felt, this is me, this is what I'm given, this is my life, and I'm just going to stay here. And they never envisioned for themselves anything better. Or maybe they wanted something better, but they let the environment influence them. I see it a lot in athletes. And you have these exceptional athletes that spent years and years on the playground. And they have this incredible talent. But they can't get anywhere because their environment is holding them back. They're enough to get out of that environment so that they can grow and that they can be, successful. So we owe it to ourselves to get out of that environment. Now, the last thought that I want to share with you, I've been watching this show on UConn. Now, I'm a big Geno fan. Coach of UConn women. Have always been. I like he and Pat Summitt when she was at Tennessee. These were the type people who I looked up to because they created the type environment that I wanted to create in my classroom. They set a level of expectation that made you want to do better. You didn't feel you had to do better. It made you want to do it. You had that level of commitment that when you came in every day to practice, you wanted to get better. You wanted to practice. You wanted to be taken to the brink. You wanted to be broken down and then built back up. And that's the level and that's the type of environment that I'm wanting to create here and that I'm working on. Because I want you guys, sometimes you have to get broken down. Sometimes you have to start over. Because the way you learned and the way you came up is not going to be sustainable. It's not going to help you reach that next level. And that's the type of environment. I have an expectation for everybody in here to give 120% during the time that they're working on their trading. Because if you don't give it, you're not going to be successful. So I want to create that environment to where we have that expectation, that we can stimulate you, that we invite you to be a part of this so that you can grow and that you can give back just what you're getting. And that, to me, that's what it's all about. And I look at Geno at UConn, and they're constantly raising the standard. And for somebody to be the standard that everybody is trying to reach, and then they constantly try to raise it, the expectation is to raise that standard year after year after year. That's the type of environment that I want to create here. And that's the type of environment that I want to have. And if it's not happening, if I'm getting feedback and it's not happening, then, I've got to change. I've got to do something. Now, is every environment for everybody? No. Not everybody, this environment in my community may not be what everybody needs. They may need to go somewhere else. But it's your responsibility to find where you need to be. And when you find, and you need to find a community that's going to give you, number one, it's going to be attractive to you, but it's going to be able to stimulate you. It's inviting of your participation. And the level of expectation exceeds it. Because anybody that can break you down and then help you achieve a level of success that you had no idea you could achieve, that's the type of person I want to be. That's the way Geno and Pat was. They didn't accept average. Everything had to be excellent. Practice had to be excellent. They expected excellence on the court. It didn't matter whether they were playing the worst team in the country. You know, so that's the environment that I want to create. So that's my message to end the week. So think about that over the weekend. You know, you want to align yourself with an environment that's gonna that has a level of expectation that's gonna make you strive to achieve more than what you want for yourself. It needs to be stimulating and it needs to be inviting. All right, so let's take a look at the market here. We got a little bit of activity today. FINL is on earnings. I know that. Let's see, MYL. As I looked at my earnings calendar here. Let's see, MYL has some bad news come out. A recall of 81,000 EpiPens. Whoa. I'm glad I don't have to use EpiPens. At least not yet anyway. Alright, so that might be worth a look. That's going to be worth a look here to see what happens. That's about it. Now, GME, I'm probably going to put myself in the same predicament that I did with NKE. Whereas NKE never hit my scan, but because I was watching it the day before and I missed a big move in the aftermarket trading, I just don't trade aftermarket. I'm not comfortable with, a lot of times you have big spreads and it does make huge moves, but if you're not able to navigate that, then it really doesn't make sense. But GME is on earnings, so I will be looking at it. We're going to look at that chart as well. Alright, so since GME is up already, we'll start with them. Since that's already populated on my chart. Move these over. Alright, so we're trading around 2113. We are sitting above VWAP. So let's see where we're at. Let's look at the daily chart. We have got down pretty significantly here. Let's see, there's potential pivot points here. Now, it's not a bad trader. I've traded it in the past, but it's gonna need some volume. That's gonna be key. Alright, so you see how these historical levels line up pretty good. You know, here's a level that we kind of, but you see this lines up here, you know, here, and here. So this isn't a relative pivot point. See, this is 30 cents off of that, so I definitely want to mark it. All right, so we got we don't really have anything else here. Let's take a look at the 5-minute again. Very nice window here. It's $1 in this window, so definitely tradable today. You know, if we get the volume and it starts to move. But I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna anticipate anything anymore. I'm gonna make sure I wait and get all the setups. Okay, MYL. We got a little bounce. Everything's above the VWAP this morning. So let's take a look at the daily chart. We're at around 40.21. So we have, see, 40, 43. It's going to be the 50-day. That's probably going to come in play today. We've got the 200 here at 41, which may be really significant because we've got the whole, it keeps wanting to snap, so I have to fix it. So we got the whole dollar mark and the 200 right at the same, right on the same level here. See how far away is this? 40, 30, and this is 40.08. Yep. So looks like we have a lot of traffic on MYL. This may not be as inviting as I once thought. Yeah, we don't have any big windows here on MYL, so this would have to really pick up some volume and be looking at making a hard move. Now if we get up here and we start trying to recover this gap down, it might look, that might be good. But this is another one I just have to wait and see what the market tells me when we open. Let's see, what's the next? So we looked at GME, MYL, look at FINL now. Alright, FINL, we're trading around 13.93. So we had a decent gap down here. See if we can find the price action in the 13s. Here we go. So everything below here, I'm going to be looking at. So I've gone a couple dollars to the downside, a couple dollars to the upside. And I think we got all of the levels that are close. See what the 5-minute chart looks like. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Some decent windows here. Not for the price stock it is. It does have some decent windows. No, we definitely have room to size up here. So that looks good. Yep, so let's see, so far I've got GME, FINL, and MYL. MYL may not amount to much. It just may not amount to much. We just have to wait and see what happens when the market opens. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. It is close. WDC. See what the news is on it. Earnings yesterday. So let's see if we got the, let's see, 79.36. So we've gapped up over this trend line, this descending resistance here. We've gapped up over. See right here on the 80. That's not bad. Let's take a look at the daily chart here. So we're trading around 79.36. WDC. I hadn't typed it in yet. So if we get some volume, this might do something. So we've gapped up over the moving averages here. Alright, let me go back over, see what we look like. Yeah, that's pretty well covered. Yeah. Alright, so let's look at the 5-minute and see what it looks like. Yeah, I need to go a little bit higher on the daily. see if we got any more. We got 79.15. Then we're up to 80.70. So that's a pretty nice gap. Alright, that's pretty nice. So I'll keep WDC. If it gets some volume, then I'll definitely put it on watch. Definitely put it on watch. We get some volume here. So I might like WDC better than, it's almost, I'm pretty sure we'll get 50. It's right at, it's at 41, 242, so I'll definitely put that on watch. It may take the place of MYL, tell you the truth. We'll have to wait and see. I'll break it down to 4. I'll break my watches down to like 4. I mean, from 4 to 3 here before the open. Yeah, MU, it could be a good one too. It has a higher float. That's the only reason why it's not on my scanner. So let's just take a look at it real quick. Yep, nice solid move up. Let's take a look at the daily here. All right, what was it trading at? 30. So we got to go back. Alright, that's going to be the floor for me down here. So we're trading around 30. So I like to go a couple of dollars up and a couple of dollars down initially to give me some idea of where we are on the charts here. I'll mark that. That looks about where I need to be. Yeah, it's starting to look a little crowded in here. Alright, so we're in. Yeah, it's decent. You know, it is a high float stock, so it's going to need a little bit more volume. All right, the healthcare vote is scheduled for 10 o'clock. Well, we'll see. They've been moving it around all day yesterday. Yeah, AS, I'll double check I'll check on that here in a minute. All right. So what the stocks I'm gonna be watching into the open, DKS. No, wrong. Wrong list. See, where did I write it down? Okay, here we go. I want to be looking at WDC, MU, GME, FINL, and MYL. But I will be breaking the list down to about 3. So I've got 6. See, 2, 5, and 2 are gonna drop before open. So got a lot of stocks that I can choose from today, and some may eliminate themselves in this 30 minutes leading up to open. All right, guys. So you got my watch list. You guys that joined us for the morning show, thank you for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to have you. We will be back at it first thing Monday morning. And like I said, if you're looking for a community that's stimulating and inviting, and that wants to help you raise your level of expectation, come join us. We're here every day, and you get to see everything that I do. Like yesterday, I hit my max loss on my first trade. I let it run a little bit further than I should, and that was it. Had to shut it down. That's what we have to do. We have to have that discipline, because some days just aren't going to be good days. They just aren't. But we're going to do everything we can to inspire you, to raise that level of expectation, to teach you, because it's all about education. Everything we do is about educating you. We don't want you to follow us. We want you to blow past us. So you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy. And we will be back at it first thing Monday morning. All right, let's see if I can get this.